What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Cam, and we are back with more Oregon State Dynasty on the channel. We're here at the end of season recap. As you can see, season 2 has ended. If you missed any of the past episodes, I'll have a link down in the description below. But as you can see, we finished 9-4, as opposed to the 9-5 of year 1. We did not make a Pac-12 championship this year. We did not win our bowl game. We were 9-2 going into our final game of the season against Boise State to make the conference championship game, and we got absolutely ran off the field. And then we played Louisville in the Sun Bowl, I believe, and we lost that one as well. So we will be staying in the Pac-12 for sure, with only having one title in 2 years. But lots to do this year in the off-season. Set the next season roster NIL, and I'm actually recording this just after they've gave out a patch to where, shocked, this meter, this current NIL meter, and the expected NIL, as you can see, if I put it to what he actually wants, guess what? Guess what? The meter is actually accurate now. It's only been 3 weeks. Thank you, EA Sports. Jokes aside, it is very nice the meter works. Now you can actually know what players want to be paid, pretty much. The way to break it down is they want the expected NIL. If they do not meet the deal breaker, they want double. As you can see by, I'll display to you, Aaron Butler, our star dev junior receiver, wants to leave due to conference prestige. I'll move my camera out the way. He wants a B plus, and we have a B. So it's only, you know, a very small, minuscule difference here. As you can see from the bar, he wants 125. We pay him 240 to stay, 250 just to make sure. But so even if you have, you know, say a player, Aaron Butler needs a B plus. I don't care if you have a B. I don't care if you have an F. If you don't meet the deal breaker, you got to pay double. That's essentially what, as far as I understand it. And it is nice that the meter works. I've already actually set the roster NIL. So I'll go ahead and go for you guys. Obviously, we don't really have a quarterback. Braden Atkinson is not going to be a starter. Hopefully. If it does, I'm probably going to end the series. Real shit. We will finally lose George Woodbury. Supposedly. Supposedly. I mean, I put his NIL all the way down to 0. He still doesn't have a max risk of leaving. Maybe he stays. I don't know. But we will not be paying Woodbury $285. Thank God. Running back wise, we're going to pay Sanu. And then the backups, they're going to want, you know, 80 apiece because we don't meet the deal breaker. I'm not really interested. Receiver-wise, Aaron Hampton. I'm not paying this. Sorry. He's also probably going to get drafted. I think 87. I know in the later years, 87 is enough to get drafted. Is it enough to get drafted after year 2? We'll find out. I'm also not paying Froof, you know, 250. The receiver we will choose to pay is obviously star of the series, 93 speed, star dev, junior receiver from Oregon State, Aaron Butler. Hopefully we can retain him for his final season of eligibility. Other receivers, Corey Sims, Jesse LeGree can leave if they want to. Jameson Powell, we will still pay Matthew Leonard. It's a lot for his 671 overall, but star dev, 95 speed, 6'5". You guys saw what he did this year in his limited playing time. He's a beast, so he'll be staying. Tight end is tight end. O-line, we're actually going to lose a few people. Starting left guard, our starting right guard, and a tackle as well. Just, you know, we don't meet the deal breakers for a lot of these guys. We're just not paying them double, to be honest. If they stay, they stay. D-line, we're retaining some, you know, quality starters. 78 overall, Ryan Penn is going to stay. 81 overall, Quante Gillians is also going to stay. D-tackle, we're cutting another player, cutting salary, if you will. Tion Gray was a big transfer portal pickup last year. He was at 81 overall. We paid him $250 in NIL at D-tackle. I'm good off that. We'll be letting him go. We're going to keep Drayden Pavey and Walter Newberry. Linebacker, we don't really have anything to write home about here. Hopefully add a you know, maybe an 80-plus overall linebacker in the portal would be ideal. But we'll see how that goes. Corner, We're keeping Glasper. We're keeping Blake Thompson. I want to keep Kai Wheaton. I'm just not going to pay him normal dev, 130 NIL. He had a game-winning pick six in the BYU game last year. He was probably our best corner. But it's got to be done. If he wants to stay for 80, he could stay, but I don't think he will. And Jerry Rome, not paying a 60 overall, 70 NIL. Safeties, whatever. We're going to let John Yelk go. It says he only wants 65. We moved to 0. I think that happens because it does say he wants to leave. Maybe because he's such a low overall. That he'll just stay for nothing. I think that's how I'm understanding that. But that's pretty much the roster NIL. We're going to head into next season with 775 NIL, roughly, give or take. I don't think they fixed that, to be fair. But we're 2.5-star school. We've got some decent grades. We're definitely missing some NIL from not accomplishing that conference win percentage goal, but it is what it is. We're going to make do with what we got, and we've got definitely some players leaving. Aaron Hampton, round 6 projected draft pick that will do wonders for our wide receiver pro potential. Pretty important. Eddie Froof is going to transfer. Tion Gray, Jesse Legree, Cordry Glass. Kai Wheaton has an extremely low chance. Could be something we try to persuade. We only have 4 persuasion chances. Elijah Rumpf, Logan Knapp, and then Carson Moss, Carter, not saying the last name, Cameron Thomas have persuasion chances. Woodbury has none, so he will leave. That's fine with me. Chase Meadows, we have a high chance. We have a lot of players we could persuade. But as you can see, we probably have, 20 transfers? Yeah, that's rough. 20 players leaving after year 2 is certainly not what you want to see, but is the way of the world. We have 4 persuasion chances. I feel like Kai Wheaton absolutely deserves one, so we will use one here. Kai Wheaton, would you like to stay an Oregon State Beaver? He has not been persuaded. And now, honestly, I'm looking for the high persuasion chances. We're already graduating a good number of players. You can only bring 35 in per year maximum, and we're probably not going to bring in 35. So, until they increase the player counts of how many players you can bring in per year, I really can't afford to lose 55 players or, 50 players a year. So, we're going to try to persuade the ones that have a high chance. Chase Meadows has decided to stay. Grant McKinnon has also decided to stay. And we will try to keep Dion Beard very high. He has not been persuaded, so that's a waste. That's unfortunate, but we're losing a ton of talent that performed for us. Michael Van Buren, our starting quarterback. Our second and third running backs. Our second and third receivers. Our starting tight end. As you can see, it's a lot. Starting right tackle. 2 of our starting D tackle. Stephaline Green looks to be drafted in round 6 as well. So that would be nice. Dylan Hampston played a pretty decent role for us. Linebacker Donovan Woolen made some crazy plays. Blake Carney, both starters. Noble Thomas Jr., our highest overall corner. Kai Wheaton, we talked about. Harlem Howard. Trevor Holton. We've lost our kicker and punter. We've lost everybody. This is going to be a brand new team going into next year for the most part. And we're going to have to put in some work in the portal. Some major work. Take a peek at the draft results. Is what we thought. Stephaline Green in round 5. Aaron Hampton in round 6. 87 overall is getting drafted. That's news. That's news to me. We'll take a look at the portal. And first, to be honest, we're going to take a look at probably quarterback, if I had to guess. They do have some 5-star transfers, none that we will probably pick up. Even though these guys are starting, these aren't 400 anymore. They're only 300. Could be something to think about, but do we have any 4-star transfers that want to play for us still? No. It's understandable, but depressing. But we should have a lot of 3 stars. Yeah, we do. Where we finally got to that point, in the program where the 3 stars really want to play for us. We're kind of, every 3-star wants to play for us, and the 4 stars don't at all. So, that's not very surprising to me. It's kind of what I expected. Could we be looking at a quarterback? I mean, we are, but What quarterback could we be looking at? I will overpay for a 4-star quarterback. If we find one that maybe we like that's under-recruited, and that I know of, right? Because I don't want to waste the hours scouting a bunch of players. We only have 600 hours and a 2.5-star team. Woodbury is in here. So, you know, it's scary to not scout because someone's going to pay Woodbury $215, and he's ass. So, probably looking for a more known name. Could we walk away with a Ty Hawkins? Could we walk away with a Deuce Knight, potentially? A Julian Lewis, I'll probably stay away from. I'm doing a South Alabama Dynasty offline. I just want a natty with Julian Lewis, so for my sake, I'll probably stay away from him. But yeah, there's definitely some options here. And we're going to have to get to work. We need a ton of players. I believe we had... Did we have 15 seniors, or did we... We had 15 seniors, and we lost, you know, 17 transfers. So, you know, we lost 32, 33 players. We're going to need to bring in a ton more. And I'll just you know, the way the portal goes, just update you guys as I go. We got 1,200 NIL to play with, potentially. But, you know, we're not going to want to spend all that. So, without further ado, let me get to work. I'll check back in. By the way, if you know ball, Austin Carlisle being the quarterback at Navy, that's kind of fire. That's kind of fire. That's so perfect. They shouldn't have let him go. We've spent a ton of NIL so far in week 1. We'll see where we are on these players. I don't expect it to be very good on a ton of them, but we've got some big-time players in mind that we're shelling out a pretty decent amount of NIL for. But what I'm most interested in is probably the quarterback. Dude, they're not still pushing for this punter. I'm going to have to fight tooth and nail for this punter. That's certainly not worth it for me. I'm not fighting tooth and nail for a punter. Sorry. And last year got a scholarship. That's done. We are in first place for Bo Bentley. Transfer freshman quarterback. 91 throw power, 85 speed, pure runner. Might be able to get some interesting abilities. And you know, it's really difficult to find a pure runner with 90 plus throw power. And I believe the only reason this is because this guy is a real player. That, you know, I think he should have been a redshirt freshman. So I think we'll get him as a redshirt sophomore is how I understand it. From Oklahoma, I believe. And I've seen him be pretty good. You know, have some pretty solid seasons in the future in Dynasty. So we're looking at a pretty good spot. I'm not really willing to risk anything. I'm going to pay the 2-bar. I'm going to pay $290. I know that's a ton, but I think he could be a game-changer quarterback for us. I mean, he's the number 44th transfer in the country. You know, you need quarterback. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. You actually need quarterback. We look good for the tight end. We look good for some of these 3-stars we're going after. Do we want to fight for the guard? We'll figure that out. Elijah Groves, a 4-star linebacker we went after. We're in the mix. Iowa and BYU are going to be tough. And Jaden Hardy has no offers above us. So, I mean, this is a lot of NIL. 225 for a linebacker, 205 for a safety, but 2 of our weaker positions on defense. And I think, you know, in play the moments, a really dominant linebacker that you use, well, I don't know, every play that you have, could be a game changer. 6'5", Elijah Groves from South Carolina, I believe, is where he transferred from. Yeah, those are kind of the big players we're going after. And I don't, you know, I think we're going to stay in the mix. Maybe not for Elijah Groves, but certainly for Jaden Hardy and Bo Bentley. So we're looking pretty good on those fronts. We'll see if any players don't have any offers. You know, maybe there's a linebacker or a safety that has no offers. We'll look for them. And like I said, I'm doing this right after a title update, so I'm not sure how it's going to look. Ooh. Hold on. Hold the phone. Why does Cornell Warren sound like a familiar name? Where do I know this name from? We might never know, because I'm not going after a receiver. We don't need one. I know this name from somewhere, and I can't figure out where. We've got some decisions to make, I'm seeing. Oh my god, there's so many... Dude, Taylon Taylor has no offers? I don't know if I ever finished my thought. I'm recording this right after a new title update came out to fix recruiting logic. Deuce Knight has no offers? Do we pivot? Cooper Perry? What is this? I'm afraid if we pivot, we're going to get in the mix for a battle we can't win. That's what I'm worried about. But, I mean, so Helaman Kasuga, I don't think any of you guys are going to know who this is. And I don't particularly know who it is either. But I've literally seen him win the Heisman in Dynasties. Ty Hawkins is a good player. Deuce Knight, we know is going to be good. We know he's going to be good. I think I'm going to pivot to Deuce Knight. You know, and maybe we can stay in the mix for both. Like, is he going to crash out? His playing time goes down to an A-. Maybe we keep... Obviously, we're not going to recruit both, but maybe we just go after both for now. We're going to take Bo Bentley off the board. That's my call. I'm going for it. Can we bring Deuce Knight to Oregon State? We'll probably find out next week. We'll have a great idea next week. Hopefully no one gets in the mix. I mean, that would be the game changer of game changers, I'd say. All right. We're sim of the week. We probably could have got Bo Bentley with little resistance. But we have risked it for Deuce Knight. And there isn't a backup option at QB. We're kind of dead in the water. A huge risk. We will check in. We are the only team that's offered a scholarship. And we are ahead. Now, playing time, deal breaker is only a B+. Bo Bentley was an A-. Is that telling me that Bo Bentley was a higher roll? I can't imagine. I know Deuce Knight gets incredible glaze. But we look to be in a good position. I know we're second, but they have not offered a scholarship. So, we will see. We will see. I like where we are. That's what I'll say. I like where we are. Check out some more notable players. Jaden Hardy. Looks like Texas Tech is kind of backing off a little bit. The Tier 4 pipeline does really scare me. But I think we're going to be okay. Jericho Johnson. Former D-tackle at Oregon. We don't really need D-tackle, but I know he's a really good player. 6'4", 350. He's going to be a monster, I think. And it looks like he's all but on the team already. Tyshawn Willis is a linebacker that had no offers. We pivoted off Elijah Groves. And, you know, we look to be someone in the mix. He looks okay. 85 speed. I did want to scout him because I wasn't familiar with the name. Just want to make sure. He looks pretty good, to be honest. I don't know how much more I'm willing to pay than 160, but we'll see. We're first for an Auburn receiver, Christian Neptune. I really like the name. That's about all I got for you. Hudson Woods and Kai Wheaton is back on our board. Now, I probably am going to bow out maybe because of Tulsa. But we'll see. We'll see. But once again, no one that I'm really, rushing to take off the board. We have spent a lot of NIL if you look at the top of the screen. I probably can't spend any more than I already have, so we might bow out of Kai Wheaton. Even though it kind of be special to bring him back. I don't know. But we're looking pretty good so far. If we can bring in Deuce Knight, I hate to boil it down to one position. But that's about all that matters. Board staying relatively unchanged. Off to week 4. Our first hard commit, 3-star edge, Mason Weaver. Jericho Johnson commits as well. Bang. Just in case you need a thumbnail, let me snap that. Only 2 commits. We're really going to have a shallow roster. We really couldn't afford 20 transfers is what I'm starting to learn. Because we're not going to bring in really close to a full class. But let's just go see where we are for Deuce Knight, shall we? This random playing time deal breaker that's just all of a sudden, it doesn't make any sense. I digress. We're going to get Deuce Knight. Deuce Knight! I don't want to speak too soon, but I do know. Deuce Knight is going to be the starting quarterback for the Beavers. We're about to run through the Pac-12 next year. Run through that bitch, literally. Deuce Knight, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Come on. All right. Here is the moment. We have 115 NIL left for the entire next season. I was going to make a bad joke. I'm not going to. Show me Deuce Knight, man. Scott Ungaro from Washington. Quentin Barden from Cali. Jaden Hardy, 4-star safety in the portal. Huge. Respect me. Respect me. Respect me. Don Don's pull, Don Don's aura has no boundaries. Deuce Knight, you are an Oregon State Beaver. Program changing. Christian Neptune, transfer from Auburn, on the team. Hudson Woods, 3-star speed rusher on the team. Kai Wheaton, welcome home, young man. Desmond Hardy, 6'5" gadget receiver out of Sacramento State. I know ball. Terrell Peterson. Javian Gu from Hawaii. Okay. Paul Solatia. Closidi McPhee. Caleb Matelau. Jaden Wright, contact seeker running back. Dalton Holdman from Florida. Tanelu Tupu. Donovan Robinson Jr. Charles Riley. Darrell Carey does not commit to us. Holy moly, we leveled up twice. This new Coach XP sliders, hell of a thing. We'll check out National Signing Day. And Mason Lewis should commit to us. We were the only person to offer him a scholarship, so hopefully he does. Box specialist safety. And it looks like Darrell Carey got a scholarship from Clemson. But we'll start from the bottom. Dalton Holdman. Oh, we're starting off with a bang. Star Dev, 3-star linebacker. C.D. McPhee has impact. Charles Riley has impact. Jaden Wright has impact. Donovan Robinson Jr. with normal. Desmond Hardy with normal. Kai Wheaton with normal. We knew that. Oh, wow. Tyshawn Willis, we actually don't get. Ole Miss sweeps in. That's a blow at linebacker. He only has impact dev, but he would have been good. Hudson Woods has star dev. Neptune with impact. Deuce Knight. Star dev. Come on, man. Matalu with normal. Jericho Johnson with star. I don't know why I said that like I was surprised. He's a very good player. Paul with impact. Mason Weaver with impact. Jaden Hardy, 4-star safety. Star dev. Goo with normal. Barden with impact. Scott with impact. Tupu with impact. Impact for Terrell Peterson. Impact for my kicker. If you didn't see these. And our backup quarterback, Javier Forrest, has star dev. I told you we were going to reshape the team. I told you we were going to reshape the team. We come in at 33rd class in the nation. 2 4-stars and 26 3-stars. And just to compare that to the rest of the Pac-12, I mean, we just beat the shit out of them. I guess Boise State did have 33 stars, which is actually really impressive. But I'm not worried about it. Oh my god, I never re-added the punter. Huh. I hope they give us a punter as a walk-on. Sometimes they don't. If they don't, you punt a lot and play the moments, guys. Not having a punter could be a huge problem. Trust me, I've experienced it. We're gonna sit in the week. We'll see what we won't know come to the season, but that could be a problem. That could be a problem for sure. We're going to hop into training boost here, training results. I'm going to do these, and I'll get back to you guys after they're done. Like I said, we do them manually, and I do every single player, so it is going to take me a little bit. And I'm gonna pause. Pre-pause here. I'm going to take my time with Deuce Knight. That's crazy. All right, so the overall is not really reflected. We've got a good fucking team, I'd say. We're gonna stay in the Pac-12. You know, we could... We're good enough to move to the Big 12 or maybe even the Big 10. But I don't think it makes sense to move conferences after going 9-4 and not even making the conference championship game. So we are going to stay in the Pac-12 one more year. Hopefully, you know, win the conference. You would think with this team. And then move to the Big 10, hopefully. Spoiler alert. This guy's really good at football. I can't lie. He is a lefty, something I actually didn't remember. But yeah, I mean, the accuracies are great. 99 ball carrier vision actually would be sneakily important in sim. He's got 91 juke move, 92 agility, 91 change of direction, 87 speed, gold side step, which is actually a really good ability this year. He's going to be a monster, man. I cannot believe he is an Oregon State Beaver. Now, he already wants to transfer, or he'll probably declare for the draft. Will he be here for more than 1 year? Will we have him going into the Big 10? I have my doubts, to be quite honest with you, but he is a monster. Like I said, I said it from the jump. I was first to this. Jericho Johnson, highest overall player on the team. Very good. Christian Neptune, by the way, very high overall. Sanu's at 87 now. Butler's at 87. We've got some good defenders as well sneakily in here. The D-line is starting to get good. Hudson Woods, redshirt sophomore. Only a redshirt sophomore. 83 overall with star dev. The O-line is whatever. The secondary is whatever. Jaden Hardy probably feels to be somewhat a miss NIL-wise. 205 for an 81 overall safety. That's not very fast. That, you know, doesn't really do a bunch of things amazingly. But we have a really good team. Obviously, clearly the best team in the Pac-12. We were the best team in the Pac-12 last year, and we folded against our rivals. Really, all our rivals. Really, Washington State twice and Boise State. So, really, all of our rival games we lost outside of Oregon. Which, will we play again? I'm not too sure. But we'll sim the week and wrap up this off-season video with seeing, you know, where we are at the beginning of next year. I don't think I'll get to show you guys the athletic director goals and stuff because they don't pop into week 1 or week 0, and I won't go past week 0. Like I said, our roster size got butchered. We really need a full class next year. We're struggling depth-wise, only 68 players on the team. It still says an 81 overall. We will be assuredly a higher overall than that. But, like I said, we're going to stay in the pack for 2028. And hopefully put together a dominant season with, I mean, this team is crazy. I feel like this has been one of my best I rebuilds. The game's been out for 3 weeks. But I've done a few. I've done UCLA. I've done a different one. I've done South Alabama now. And we start the year ranked, by the way, as we should. But yeah, I feel like this has been one of our most successful, at least off seasons. I mean, the fact that we've taken this team this far overall, quarterback-wise and otherwise, 87 overall team, 86 offense, 89 defense. Overall, the teams don't matter too much, but we have some really, you know, superstar players, I think, now. And I am extremely excited for Season 3. Now, we only have 315 NIL. We're definitely strung a little bit for next season recruiting-wise. Do we try to bring in one really good player? Possibly. You know, we'll see what we do. We only have 8 seniors this season. Now we're going to have players transfer and declare. But we should be able to rebuild up the depth that way. And we'll check out the schedule before we end the video. Before I end the video, I'll check out the schedule. Do we start BYU? We are forced to play Oregon again. Can't change that for some reason. which I wouldn't have. But we'll be at home against Oregon. So that's, you know, it's gonna be very tough. We won the Oregon game last year, and still, you know, had a fine season, but not amazing. Do we do another home and home with BYU? Maybe. New Mexico, probably not. But then you have Washington State twice. Okay. Okay. I mean, weeks 1 through 5 are going to be a real litmus test. Obviously, you still have Boise State here, which I don't think will be as good as last year, to be honest. They won't have Nico, I don't think. Do we... First of all, who do we play week 1? Second of all, do we play the full game? I'm not sure. Do we do Ole Miss? I don't know. I'm a sucker for revenge games. What can I say? What can I say? We're going to have the FCS game in here per usual. I always do. Especially if the Kodiaks beat us, so I'm pissed. And then we'll do... Do we want to do a military academy? Who do we want to do? We'll do Sacramento State. I know you have an FCS Northwest game and a Sacramento State game, but we are playing Ole Miss and Oregon. So give me a break here. Make sure I have the amount of home games I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do 7. We'll play at Ole Miss week 1. We'll play the full game, like we typically do in the next video. And that's going to be it for this one, man. If you enjoyed the offseason, I'm not sure how you have it if you made it this far. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.